From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Bradley's forecast.
Well, here we are, early September, and temperatures still pushing mid to upper 90s. Got up to 98 in Lafayette this afternoon. Probably going to be pushing close to 100 over the next couple of days, and then temperatures will start to moderate a little bit finally through the course of the weekend, and especially into next week. We'll start to get some slightly drier, more comfortable air into the region as well. So we'll take a look at the extended outlook in just a second. Look out in the tropics as well. But first off, here's a satellite radar composite, and we did see a few scattered afternoon showers and storms across Acadiana this evening as well, especially up in St. Landry Parish. There was a nice little downpour in and around the Eunice area about an hour or so ago, but that has since rained itself out. A little disturbance pushing through Mississippi late this evening. That's going to be bypassing us off to the east. So now that Power Doppler 3 has settled down quite nicely late this evening, should be relatively quiet through the rest of tonight. Quite mild out there. Temperatures upper 70s or so. That's what we'll be by tomorrow morning. There's our lone shower from earlier this evening. You can see it moving through the western parts of St. Landry Parish, but pretty much dissipated as it moved into Acadia Parish. So that's all that we had earlier. Now, again, quiet conditions the rest of tonight. Let's talk a little tropics. We are busy. Got a major hurricane out here in the eastern Pacific, Jove, but that's going to continue on a westward track. Not a concern for us, obviously, but a very intense storm. Look at the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, all is quiet. That's the way we like to see it this time of year. And boy, if we can continue to get it to look like this over the next month and a half, you know, we're going to be in pretty good shape. But we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. Elsewhere across the Atlantic Basin, we do have Hurricane Lee. That is intensifying. It's going to be rapidly intensifying over the next several days. That'll have a Category 5 potential. I'll show you that in just a second. Another area has emerged off the African coast. High chance to develop over the next 7 days at around 70%, but that's going to be staying out in the open waters, so no concern there. Here's the latest on Lee, 80 miles per hour with the winds. It's moving to the west-northwest at around 14 miles per hour. And look how this is going to be strengthening over the next several days. Hurricane Center has upped the maximum winds now on Saturday at 155 miles per hour. Cat 5, 157. So again, this will have Category 5 potential. Should stay just north of the Caribbean islands, so good news for them. But still, interest in the Bahamas, even parts of the East Coast, especially the Northeast. We'll have to watch this closely over the next several days just to be sure it stays offshore. But good news for us, not going to be a threat to the Gulf of Mexico nor us here in Acadiana. Here's how it plays out with the European model. Notice the blue moving in as we head into Sunday. That's drier, slightly more comfortable air, so our dew points are going to be lower. A little bit less humid out there for the back half of the weekend, especially into early next week. Notice Lee really intensifying here over the next several days, and hopefully again misses Bermuda and stays in the open waters as we head into next week. But again, not a guarantee, especially for the extreme northeastern U.S. and the Canadian Maritime. So we'll keep an eye on it for them, but again, not heading for the Gulf. Meanwhile, our forecasts looking pretty hot over the next couple of days. Mid to upper 70s by tomorrow morning. We're pushing upper 90s to near 100 tomorrow afternoon. Widely scattered showers and storms. Not everyone gets wet. At around, we'll say, 30%. Here we go into Friday. Starts out mid to upper 70s, right back up into the upper 90s to near 100. But here comes an impulse in the upper levels. That should help to generate a scattering of some showers and storms, especially late Friday afternoon into Friday evening. So bumping rain chances up to around 50 to 60%. Perhaps a few leftover showers on Saturday, but then definitely trending drier into Sunday. High temperatures tomorrow, again pushing into the triple digits for northern Acadiana. We'll say upper 90s to right around 100 degrees here along the I-10 corridor, and upper 90s looks to be a pretty good call across the coastal parishes. So let's advance it forward into the 10-day forecast. Right around 100 for Friday. Rain chances, we'll say 50-60% late Friday afternoon into the evening hours. We'll see what the guidance tells us tomorrow. Some of those could be on the stronger side simply because we're going to be so hot throughout the day, so we'll have to be able to look out for some gusty winds. And then through the course of the weekend, a little bit cooler, but temperatures still above normal. Mid-90s Saturday, Sunday, but feeling a little bit better as we round out the weekend, head into the early parts of next week with that lower humidity. And it's going to be most noticeable for our overnights. and early mornings as we see those low temperatures dipping down into the upper 60s and lower 70s, but not to be, at least for the rest of the week, quite hot, humid out there, summer-like pattern.
We see the temperature slide, though, in the right direction.
Slowly.
It really has to. The sun is getting, you know, lower in that sky, especially during peak heating hours, so tide's going to turn eventually.
All righty. Thank you, Bradley.